We spent a good 9 hours making these doohickeys. So, back at Rome's, and we're working on the car more. As you can see, there's obviously tons more progress. So, I may have forgotten to do an intro for this video. I know. I'm sorry. Basically, in this video, we're gonna be making a bracket for my rear brakes so that my big Wilwood calipers can fit onto the WiseFab, because otherwise they do not fit from factory. As well as welding in the remainder of my roll cage, so enjoy. Not the most insanely clean work, but it'll definitely work. I'd say that fits rather perfect. Let's go! Okay, so we've gotten a ton of stuff done today. As you guys have seen, we spent a good 9 hours making these doohickeys. So these basically will allow me to put big beefy Wilwood calipers on the WiseFab, because it does not fit from, I guess, the manufacturer. And so basically we made the brackets that will allow for these very nice Wilwood calipers to bolt on these two bolts, and then this side, well, they're not sides, but basically these two inner bolts will mate onto the WiseFab and allow the Wilwood calipers to attach on. So that's very nice. It took a long time, and it's mostly thanks to this guy. I just did a little bit of the cutting, which it wasn't my best work, but yeah, I did some of the. I cut out these ones, and then Rome made them look good, and then basically we got these bolts, we pushed them through, and then as we got it all flush up to the caliper and all flush up to the WiseFab down there, we just cut the bolts off and made them all nice and kind of flush with the surface. And now everything will fit very nice, and it will be very easy for me to get my calipers off. So yeah, so that's 9 hours of work to do that. And yeah. Oh, and this is also going to be my rear rotor and caliper setup. Yeah, so all Wilwood stuff. Absolutely beautiful rotors, very thin. They're like 8 pounds. It's crazy. Is this it? Oh, no. Oh, yes. We had a first attempt. This was our blueprinting attempt, and you will see some of the footage of that as well. But basically, this was the blueprint. This is when we were actually just kind of guessing on how we were going to do it. And you see, it was going really well until a certain very expensive tool decided to break inside of the hole that we were trying to tap. It just snapped in half and made it literally impossible to get out. So yeah, not so good. So yeah, we basically then had to, after the 2 hours of work just got wasted from that, we then had to cut out these 2 new brackets and do everything over again. But we made them look a lot nicer, and we kind of, again, had the blueprint for them, so it went quicker. But yeah, so that's what we did tonight. And then tomorrow, there's a lot more stuff to do. There's some other, actually, the other thing that we got set up was the Chase Bays brake and clutch system. And it all looks very nice and fits very nice. And there's a little energy call there. A little piece of energy goodies to hold it all in. Yeah, so that's pretty much all that we've done today, because that, as I said, took 9 hours to do the brackets. But yeah, you don't really realize how long all the little minute, not seen stuff takes until you're actually doing it. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're trying to build a car like this. It takes a long time to do some of the small stuff that no one sees. But yeah, so I would say that's really big progress. Big part done. we're getting this beautiful, brand new, absolutely fresh from the factory NRG passenger seat. It's their brand new carbon FIA seat. It is absolutely gorgeous. The carbon adds so much texture to the interior with their beautiful red seat brackets, same I'm using on my driver, but it is the brand new seat from them to match the driver. And yes, very, very good looking, and my passengers will be very comfortable when they're riding in here, and very secure. Well, I shouldn't have done that because the seat brackets aren't even, the bolts aren't even in, so it doesn't make it look secure, but it is very secure. Yeah, so that's in there, and getting that bolted down tomorrow. So that's it for today. That was a lot of work, big day, a lot of cutting half-inch steel plate, so that took a while. But yeah, so overall, really good day, and we will be getting a lot more done tomorrow. So see you then. All right, day 2, working more on the car, and now we're getting the passenger seat all secured because we need to make custom mounts for it. And yeah, it should be about most of what we do before I leave, because I have a pretty early flight in the night. And then yeah, but tons of progress so far, and yeah, let's get going. So we got all the seat brackets bolted in, got everything done over there, and now we've moved on to doing the remaining parts of the roll cage, or at least as much as we can get done while I'm here and I can film it. But obviously it will be done when I'm not here as well. But yeah, so this side, these are going to be the door bars, the NASCAR style door bars that are going in. It's just this bottom bar, a top bar above that, and then 3 strut bars in the middle, and then a bunch of other connecting points between the cage. So yeah, let's get that done. All right, so that wraps up today, all that we could do while I was still here. Obviously, Rome's still going to be hard at work, but yeah, so as you guys saw in the video, we got all these lined up, and then Rome tacked in, or actually, well, tacked them in initially, and then just fully laid these beautiful beads on every single one of these pieces. And yeah, as you guys could see, we had to do some ratchet strapping between these 2 vertical bars over the hoop and then the 2 front bars, and that's a sketchy experience, definitely, especially with that little itty-bitty ratchet strap. But it worked out. Everything looked beautiful. The door bars from Cage Kits look great. Yeah, everything is coming together pretty quickly. We spent the entirety of yesterday on those brackets for the calipers on the rear, but they came out really good, and they're made out of 1/2-inch steel plate, so I don't think I'm breaking those. Yeah, even with my tendons.
Real hard.
Yeah, you would have to like nuclear blast a wall. But yeah, so apart from that, there's the seats are all sorted. Everything's ready to go in. There's some holes, as you can see there, those 4 holes are all, we're actually using the right rear stock seat bracket place, which is great. So just using a spacer on the left rear. So yeah, those 4 holes are drilled out with some welded washer nuts on the bottom, which Rome did himself. So they look really nice. Yeah, so some TIG welded washers with flare nuts on top, which look great. So yeah, that's the whole setup for the seats. And then apart from that, pretty much now waiting on the motor, which is going to be done very, very soon. And then it's putting in the motor in the front up there, and then the dog box G-force transmission there, and then mating that to the absolutely ginormous Rad Industries Winter's Quick Change in the rear with a beautiful drive shaft that Rome will also be building, as most of this car has been. So yeah, very happy with the progress, and Rome, as I said, is gonna stay at it, but I must head out, and yeah, on to the next one, and we'll definitely have a big update the next time that I'm here. So yes, sir. All right, see you guys later.